for Thursday and Friday night. Let's bring in Stephen Kinnock, who I know has rushed over to talk to us, and he's sitting in our Westminster studio. And we've talked before, Stephen, Labour MP Stephen Kinnock, I should say, we've talked before about, you know, your pragmatism. You're one of those who wants a deal. You've said that in the past that maybe you could have supported a Theresa May style deal with things added on. How does this deal, as you see it, compare to that deal that you might have been able to back?
Well, the problem is we've seen absolutely no detail at all. We've made it clear that we need assurances and safeguards on workers' rights, environmental standards, protections, alignment on those key regulations, also participation in EU agencies. We need to see that as part of the package on the future relationship, because we're certainly not going to allow Boris Johnson to have a Singapore-on-Thames style Brexit, and that's something that I certainly couldn't support. So I'm open to supporting a deal. I think that the United Kingdom should leave the European Union with a deal that protects jobs and livelihoods. But until we've seen the detail, we really are shooting in the dark here.
Yeah. Let me ask you where you would stand on an extension this weekend. So let's presuppose that there is an agreement in principle, but we don't yet have the legal text. The Benn Act is supposed to kick in on Saturday night. Legally, the Prime Minister is obliged to go and request this 3-month extension or something like that. Would you be prepared to give him more time to get the detail, or would you want an extension at that point?
Well, it looks highly likely that even if there is a deal for us to vote on Saturday, it's impossible to see how you could get all of the bill through its remaining stages. You know, we have 3 key stages: second reading, committee stage, and final reading. It's impossible to see how you'd get that through. There would be amendments, there'd be lots of debate. I find it very difficult to believe that we could do it all by the 31st of October anyway. But what the Prime Minister may say is, look, give me what's sometimes called in the jargon a technical extension. We just need maybe another month or so through to the 1st of December, and we can get this done. So I think there needs to be an extension, but it doesn't necessarily need to be to the 31st of January.
But the Brexiteers would say to you, you pass the Benn Act in 1 day. So if you could do that, you could pass the second and third reading on a deal.
Well, the Benn Act was a very simple, straightforward couple of sides of A4. The withdrawal agreement bill will be hundreds of pages of legislation, and also we of course need to see the changes to the framework for the future relationship, which I talked about, the environmental standards, consumer, etc. That'll be changes that we need to see, and we'd be seeing them for the first time. So it is going to require some scrutiny, and of course it needs to go to the European Parliament for final ratification. So I think a short period of time is going to be required in terms of an extension anyway.
Stephen Kinnock from Westminster, thank you for joining us with so much still in flux tonight.